So, I mean, for us, I think, like you said, I think one, we're just blessed to be able to work with each other, but then two, understanding that, like, you got to be careful who you take advice from. That was the point I wanted to make. You got to be careful who you take advice from, simply because, I'm giving you advice based off my experience, and maybe my experience may not fit your current situation. So I'll give you a perfect example. I've been divorced. So when I got divorced, I told people, never get married, but that was just from my experience. Or even so, when it comes to our business, driving it back to that point where we had employees and we hated managing people. So we had this bad idea in our head of, hey, you know what, we'll never, if we have to build a business and we need people, that's not a business we want to be in. But how crazy does that sound?
Today, I've got my boys, the Mathis twins, Jeremy and Josh, and they are heavy in the entrepreneurship game. They own a real estate company, have many employees, and have really came a long way, even since the time that I've known you guys. So, without further ado, welcome. And I've got one question. Tell them, how in the hell do we tell you guys apart?
I'm the better looking twin. It's easy.
Come on, man.
It's easy.
Come on.
He's the little brother. He can't grow his goatee and pull.
Honestly, that is how you tell.
So, I mean, for us, I think, like you said, I think one, we're just blessed to be able to work with each other, but then two, understanding that, like, you got to be careful who you take advice from. That was the point I wanted to make. You got to be careful who you take advice from, simply because, I'm giving you advice based off my experience, and maybe my experience may not fit your current situation. So I'll give you a perfect example. I've been divorced. So when I got divorced, I told people I hate getting married. I would never get married. But that was just from my experience. Or even so, when it comes to our business, driving it back to that point where we had employees and we hated managing people. So we had this bad idea in our head of, hey, you know what, we'll never, if we have to build a business and we need people, that's not a business we want to be in. But how crazy does that sound? You know what I'm saying?
But like, looking at it to today, one of the things we know is if it's just you, it's a hustle. It's not a business.
Yeah, right.
You can't sell a hustle. You can sell a business. Going back, to earlier, but going back to then, like when you guys had employees, and then you're like, oh, well, I don't want to have any employees. Now, well, guess what? You got employees again, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference between back then and today? 6 years, 7 years difference between having 29 employees and then constantly turning over versus today, where you might not have as many, but you have good, solid, quality people.
Leadership. I think I was going to say it all boils down to leadership. We've become better leaders. Understanding that if you
how'd you do that?
I think it's just hanging around the right people, having mentors, reading, educating ourselves, and then also getting tired of just BS. Yeah. Really, because for us, one of the biggest things, one of the things we both struggle with, is I think we're too nice sometimes as leaders. So I delegate something, and then somebody comes back to me, and I'm basically doing their work for them, which has been a struggle for both of us. But just really get to that point of like, man, I'm just tired of, like, every month I know how much my payroll is. And I'm tired of putting all that money out, and I'm still feel like I'm being overworked. So for me, that's when I think my leadership went to another level, when I realized, like, why am I paying all these people, but I'm still feeling like I'm just doing all the work? That's when I became a different person.
So, and there's two schools of thought, like we're same mastermind together. Yeah. There's two schools of thought. You can be a leader that leads from the front.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the first one in, last one to leave. Very Kobe Bryant mentality, right?
What you have to do at a certain point, right?
I take the stance of that for sure. But you have the other side where you have, like, one of our mentors, DM.
Yeah.
He's like, listen, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna come in. I'm the owner of the business, and he owns that. And so there's some of us that are born and bred like me. That's man, first one in, last one to leave. Yeah. If not, my dad's still probably gonna whip my ass if I'm not like that. But then again, it's like, why build a business if you can't have life on your terms either? Yeah. So, I mean, what's your leadership style within the company today as opposed to what it was a while ago?
I think one is just holding people accountable. We've gotten way better at that. Before, like you said, we wasn't holding people accountable. You show up late, you don't come to work, you call us on some BS, oh, it's okay. And there was no repercussions. There was no conduct, you know what I'm saying? Nothing, no reprimanding on our part. Now it's just, hey, you show up late, you get a verbal warning. You show up late again, you get a written warning. You keep, because you're creating bad habits. So you're saying at my job as a leader is I can't allow you to create bad habits because one, I'm not helping you and I'm not helping the business. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta make sure that everyone here is creating great habits for themselves, and that's how we all grow and become better people. You think about most of us here at this table, we've all done, from the outside looking in, they would consider us successful. And it's why, because we have habits, we have good habits. Really think about it. You know what I'm saying? The success that you've had, the habits. Everything's tied to habits.
You gotta find the right people though, because plenty of times we've tried to show people right habits, but if it's not the right person,
right,
it won't matter.
Correct.
Someone can recommend and say this and this, and then you have people that don't care. They're like, whatever, I'll get in trouble. I'll just leave, but you gotta find the right person in the first place that you can kind of grow and mold and kind of see that, which is the hardest thing I think, because you never know how a person is. When you first meet them, they'll show you the world. I'm the best. I'm awesome at this and this, and you actually truly see. But
I think a key lesson we've learned in business too is you build the business around the system and not around the people, because you don't want your business you don't want to have the Michael Jordan mentality with your business where everything that Michael wants, Michael gets. That's not how you build a successful business. Because what happens was Michael's upset when Michael wants to leave the team. You've built the business of the team around him, and if he wants to leave,
it's gone.
You're all your eggs in one
So
basket.
now it's just like, and that's something that we had to learn. Where I don't care if this is my best sales guy. If he's constantly messing up, we gotta let him go. Gotta let him go. That's something I would say is also different with us now. Whereas before, you get your best player.
Oh, I'm behind you,
Such a Miami mentality. Hey, LeBron? Yeah, come on down. Hey, we're gonna get the best player. Come on, baby. Tyree.
No, but one thing. Take it easy, guys. Take it easy. Take it easy. So now, one of the things I want to touch on,
Get it honest.
and I don't know if this is the right time, but you said something that I want us to all talk about a lot more, which is how we were raised, right? And how you were raised. You used to think that I gotta be the first one in, the last one out. And just imagine if you didn't have that mentor that taught you that. And how would your life be if somebody didn't teach you to challenge that belief system that somebody else instilled in you? So one of the things I want to talk about is how have you guys challenged your belief systems? How have you guys grown and become different people? As far as my mom and daddy taught me this, but I had to grow up and I had to learn
Turn
something.
it back around. All right. So one thing I'll say is, whoever we are, like you have to own who you are, right? And you have to own own the way that you were raised as well. You could have had a bad childhood, a great childhood, in between, very mediocre, whatever. But however you were raised, I was raised, first one in, last one to leave, run through a brick wall. If there's a door, you put your head down and go through it. You don't open the door, right? Even though there's a doorknob that you just clearly open. But one of the things about millennials, Gen Z, all these younger kids is they're like, I don't even want to go through. I'm going to have someone else open that door for me, One of the great things about, this guy is that he's like, man, I'm going to find someone to open the doorknob for me. Like, I don't even want to go that far, And so he thinks in those terms.
It's called macro, I think.
So I think that, when you figure out who you are, the way that your mind works, be willing to see life through someone else's lens too. And when you can see, because we only see this because of the way we were raised or because of, things that were instilled in us. But if you can look through the lens of someone else here, wow, now you have this much, right? If you can look through this person's lens, now you have this much, right?
It's really about being open-minded, like actually accepting and letting go of your ego and always knowing that you don't know everything. No matter what you go through and no matter what you're instilled, you got to realize, hey, there's so many other perspectives, there's everything. Let me take a step back and look at the overall picture and kind of see always, It's kind of like a dog. If a dog's never left the house, all he thinks is he has that house, but the second you let him out, holy crap, what's this grass? You're running around having a blast, but same thing, you just got to know that there's something more and kind of realize it's open-minded. At least for me, that's the way it is. And take other people's perspective too, like, hey, not everyone's up the same, but no matter what it is, be open to it and kind of be objective, see all sides to it and know that you're open, there's other ways of doing things as well too.
I think, wait, let's hear from Brian, man.
No, I was just going to say.
Brian. Come on, Brian.
No, you guys said you get it.
I was going to say, I don't think you're, just because you grew up a certain way or like you were brought up a certain way, I don't think that should predetermine your future. Like a lot of the times that's, people get stuck in a certain way, but I mean, getting around people later in life that are going where you want to go, I think that's really what's changed most of us, right? Every one of us, before we were on, when you guys were just talking about spending $55K on a mentor, but like that shit's invaluable. Either you learned a lesson or it changed your business. And so like that's, I know my life has changed just from getting around certain people.
I think also too, one thing I just heard listening to, I forget how I was listening to, but they said that your childhood, your upbringing is a resource. You really think about it, it's a resource. Like for us, nothing in my life is hard because I can tap into that resource of my childhood. Growing up, not knowing where my next meal was going to come from, that's fucking hard. You know, growing up, not, you know, are we going to have lights? Growing up, not being able to buy new shoes and new clothes for you, that's hard. So what I go through now, it's a piece of cake, man. So like for me, that's how I think about it. Like my child is a resource, and I can tap into that resource anytime that I need to.
Wow, I didn't know you was
like
that smart. He's kind of saying something kind of good. Wow.
It kind of allows you to risk it because you're like, all right,
He's
I've
a little
already
older
been
than you,
through
that's
this.
fine,
So
man.
like, what's the worst that happens? I start over.
We talking about that right now. Me and him was just having this conversation on the plane here because, you know, they say the recession is coming and things have been a little tough in our business. Not tough from this, like we're still operating, but the deals that we're doing,
we're all
slow
going
down.
through it,
You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
We're all
Yeah,
going
yeah,
through
yeah.
it.
Dude,
I told
all
him.
of America is going through it.
And, you
Anyone
know,
that says
Minus
not is
Miami, though.
bullshit.
Then again, that's not part of America. That's South America right there.
You know, the point I want to make was, again, that's why I told him, I'm like, bro, this is easy what we're going through right now, bro. Like, you know, I know my rent is going to be paid. I know my car note is going to be paid. I know I'm still paying for my
count
child's
your
tennis
blessings.
lesson. You know what I'm saying? I know her tennis lesson is still going to be paid. I know I'm still paying for the tutor, and I'm still paying.
Smart on the tennis, by the way.
I'm not thinking about those things. So it's just like, I know it's going to get taken care of. So for me, it's just I tap into that resource of where I've been and how we were raised up. I'm like, man, I done been through that. I can get through anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to have a different level of problems, right?
You mentioned shoes, and then you know, you guys was thinking my J's up here were fake. They're not. Okay, I wore them one time. Got some blisters. I like, yeah, they're going up on the mantle over here. But you know, going to today, like, and not worrying about stuff. Do you ever feel guilty of maybe the success that you've attained in any way, shape, or form?
No, bro, no. I mean, I know what I had to go through to get here. You know, we talk about this all the time. It was a struggle, bro. Like, while your friends out partying, have a good time, you're slaving, you're working, you're not paying yourself.
And we're from Miami too.
Yeah, you know?
That's what we're supposed to do.
Like just to know and just to see where we are right now, and just to see some of my friends. And not saying we're doing way better than them, but I understand for a long time. And I think that's why you and I, we all connect, us two, more so than anybody else, because I know your story, like you were slaving, you were sleeping in the properties that you were fixing up to rent out. So I relate to that. Not necessarily sleeping in, but just making sure that you're making those sacrifices now so you can walk around with the real J's and not the fake ones.
That's right. That's actually my first pair
Man,
of
for us, man, everything that we've gotten, I've worked for. You know,
I don't feel guilty at all, because at the end of the day, success is available to anybody that put the work in.
Is it hard to be humble in a city that's like glorified to be anything but?
Bro, my mom is amazing. The way I'm humble by nature. So for us, I'm not flashes. I'm not braggadocious.
You don't get tempted.
Nah, my mom, and plus, bro, my mom, she brings us down to level 0 quick. I don't need y'all money. I don't need nothing from y'all.
Don't ask for nothing.
My mom, like, it's who you surround yourself with. And my mom, I talk to her constantly. It's a constant reminder that, well, you're a regular person.
Goes back to how
you
you're
come
raised.
back home and she's still like, sit down, wash your hands.
Yeah. But even so, like now, by the grace of God, we've been able to, every year we've taken our family on an all expense paid vacation.
That's awesome.
We pay for
Terry
the
just did that
vacation.
too.
And
We're part of the family now too.
and you know, my mom, like when we're booking stuff, you know, me and him, my taste is a little bit better. So it's just like I want the nice stuff. My mom's like, "Wow, we gotta stay here. Y'all spending all that money," and
My mom's the same way.
it constantly reminds us, like, "Hey, do we really need to stay here?" I mean, we do end up staying there, but it makes me think. You know what I'm saying?
So it's just
like,
a mom thing in general. Too.
Yeah.
Like,
To them,
my
it's
mom-
not
them
about
growing
the
up in
venue,
times
it's just
they
being
did.
around.
Their
for you.
experiences were different than our experiences, you know.
That's true.
And what they were going through, the stuff they went through was
But
much
all of
different.
that ties into really lifestyle, if you think about it. What I mean when I say that is, my mom wants to spend time with us, because growing up, she couldn't. So you think about us being able to scale our businesses so that we can spend time with our kids. My mom don't care about the 4 seasons. She cares about the 4 hours that she gets to spend with us. It's so different. So it goes back to the scale is only. You scale your business, you get that lifestyle.
Well, it's the whole saying, you know, rich people, they have money, but wealthy people, they have time.
Yeah.
It's hands down what it is.
Yeah.
Speaking of time, so you guys are flipping, you guys are wholesaling real estate, you guys are renting, you guys are kind of doing the full gamut. Like, what would you say, like, if there was like an exit strategy or a part of real estate that you love the most, like what would that be?
Rentals.
He's like, I was waiting for that.
Rentals.
Get alley-oop.
Bam. Bro, like, because with rentals, obviously you're always looking for that next deal until you get to a certain point when you're comfortable or you are where you want to be at. But you think about wholesaling and fixing, flipping, and the risk that comes with it. Wholesaling, you got to constantly find that next deal to make money.
Yeah.
With flipping, you better hope that the market is not what it is right now. And you have a couple projects sitting on the market, and then you like, do I want to take a 6-figure? Like, what level loss do I want to take at this point just to get out of this? Rentals all day long, because I know on the first. And we do okay with our rentals.
How big is your portfolio right now, rental wise?
Our portfolio is 7.2 million. We're 7.2 between us two. But the thing I'm proud about, we cash flow 18,000. That's including property management.
That's net to us.
That's
awesome,
including all expenses.
That is awesome.
So for us, like when we buy rentals, the portfolio could be bigger, but it comes with some headaches. It comes with some headaches.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a certain scale to where you have to have so many people, and there's this no man's land place where you get too big, and then it gets out of your hands and all that stuff. But I mean, for most people, like I remember when I was first getting into real estate, I'm like, man, if I could just make $8,000 a month, that's $100,000 a year, right? If I can just do $8,000 a month, like, man, I'll go down to Key West. I'm gonna live my days. Like, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
More you make, the more problems you have.
Yeah, that's true. But then,
the more you make, the more options you have.
Exactly.
That's what I like to say.
Before we change the subject, 7.2 million. What is that in Miami? Like, how many units is that? Because over here, 7.2 mil would be a whole lot more units.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, how many units do you guys?
Probably like 70 some, 80 some.
Yeah.
That'd be how much of this?
70 units. Probably like
not
Like
market.
50.
I mean, maybe 40 or 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
Down in Miami,
nice.
how many units is that?
I love your face every time I
You're
talk
like,
about
wait, more than 50.
Wait, no. Like, how? It's
See, down
crazy.
there, I'm guessing it's probably like, what, 20 units? 20, 25?
We're right under 30.
Right under 30, yeah.
Yep, right under 30.
See the difference in, like, isn't that crazy?
How have you carved out a niche in like that big of a market?
So for us, we know I know the customer who I want to. At the end of the day, we're in the business.
Yeah,
we're running a business, and when you want to run a successful business, you got to understand who your customer is. And for us, I know who my customer is. I rent in the DEC neighborhoods. I rent to working class families. I rent to the guy that works at the Walmart, the Comcast guy, the lady who works at the Gap. Those are my tenants. I understand that clientele. I understand that market. I understand what they're looking for. So for us, we can provide a product that they're happy with. And for us, we know how to attract the right tenants. So the biggest thing is a lot of people say they stay away from the hood. Everybody has their niche. And for us, I like investing where I know. Now, as we make a little bit more money, it's starting to get a little bit more difficult, but a little bit more different to deal with the problems that come with it. But for us, when you have the best unit in that area, it's so easy to do the business. Because for us, when we got into the business, we said we're not being cheap with our units. Like I remember my aunties and my uncles having to move constantly. They had to move every year, and some of the places they would stay at was like, wow, we're blessed. And for me, I always said once, because I've always been a dreamer. Once I make it and I own rental properties, my rental property is gonna be nice. Somebody gonna be proud to stay there. So that's kind of how we built out our niche. Go into the hood, go into the places that we know, and give the best product. And for us, man, I can serve people who grew up the way that, because I can have sympathy on the person that's like my mom. Because the banks or the landlords before, they didn't care. If she wasn't paying, they gonna get her out. So now, for us, we still run a business and we run a tight ship. But I understand, hey, this month something came up. Okay, you got to be late on your rent. That's fine, and I can give that tenant a quality product. I mean, granite countertops, stainless steel appliances. This is in the hood. Where most people, they just patching and painting and throwing it. No, for us, I want to give you quality product. And it's a business decision too, because as you know, in rentals, you lose money with maintenance and turnover. For me, if I fix it right the first time, I don't have to continue to maintain it. And if I put a quality tenant in there and I give them something to be proud of, something that they can call home, they're not staying. I mean, they're not going. They're gonna stay.
Yeah. Do you guys run numbers on like how long your average stay is per property? Because I know one of the things that we've done is we've looked at our average stay per property to figure out what properties we want to sell, especially before the incoming recession. We were determining, okay, well, like we had a bunch of apartments, for instance. It was like literally 15% of our portfolio, these 72 units, but it was also 40% of our headaches. 40% of our work orders came from here. Our average stay was like in 18, 19 months. Our average stay in our single family properties was 4.4 years.
Wow.
So where are we making money? We're making money over here. So we're like, let's just sell this part and let it be someone else's property.
That's so crazy.
And so I don't know if that's something that you guys run in your.
No, we're not that smart, brother. That's impressive though to hear you say that. It's like wow, but that's the importance of being around the right people. Now I have another metric that I know. Okay, in my business, I need to check what is the average. What is the average stay? Because if we ever get to a situation where we need to sell, that's the easy metric to say. Okay, we can get rid of this one and keep the
for sure. But you guys run metrics on a lot of other stuff in your business.
I like that one though. I like that one.
But I mean, like especially on the wholesaling side, I know you guys run metrics constantly.
For sure.
What? So for those people that are listening, the top 3 metrics that you would run on the acquisition side. I hate calling it the wholesaling side. I like calling it the acquisition side because essentially that's what we're doing is acquiring, then figuring out, how to best dispose of that property. Sometimes it's keeping it. But what are the top 3 metrics that you guys run in that acquisition side?
Cost per lead, cost per closed deal. Definitely those 2. And then other metrics you would say?
And it's
leads per contract.
Yeah,
you get those 3 metrics in there, you kind of can have a good idea of your business. So you know how many leads I need to generate. You know your cost per lead, and you know your cost per deal. So if I want to do 100 deals, you can kind of reverse engineer it. So those 3. Those 3 is what we're looking at.
And then another thing you do want to add in that I think is important is your average deal size. Because
that's huge.
That's I think is essential for your business because you can get there's 100 different ways you can get to 100,000. You know what I'm saying? You could do a $1 deal. You can do 5 deals at 20,000. You can do 10 deals at 10,000. So if you know, okay, hey, this is what I want to get to. You know how you need to know how to slice that up.
Smart.
Yeah, I mean, for us, we we run those metrics. There's another one we run for the acquisitions guys. I call it 60-21. So like, you need to make 60 calls a day. If you don't make 60 calls, did you have 20 conversations? If you didn't have 20 conversations. Did you get a contract today?
60-21.
I don't care how you figured it out because you got some people that get on the phone and they're chatty Cathy and you got to rub their shoulders a little bit, right? Massage them up. You got some people that are just bulldogging.
You do
boom, boom, boom. No, I'm the 6th guy. I got to work harder.
I hire the person to do that for me or partner with them.
There it is. There you go.
It's 100 different ways, but I'll find the person to find that and I'll give you half the money. There you go.
But yeah, so to talk about the transition from wholesaling to flipping and then flipping to renting, because we kind of left that part out, and I'm curious to know how that transition happened.
You're good with the question.
So I think
I listen.
One for
don't tell me.
We just wanted to get. I'm gonna be honest. I think for most people that get into real estate is why because you want to own some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't get into to wholesale. You want to own something. That's what you.
I would think.
And Rich Dad Poor Dad, that's what they teach you when you see on TV. That's what they teach you. They tell you what 80-70% of the millionaires are made through real estate. So most people get into one and
But then you get online and everyone wants to wholesale real estate. Everyone wants to buy a wholesale course.
Immediate gratification nowadays.
So I'm giving you our story. So we knew we always wanted to own, but like most people, you think you need money to own. And then at the time, we were just ignorant. We didn't know that you could get into real estate without, or even own without using your own money. So we found out about wholesaling and we started wholesaling. Well, when we first started, we wanted to fix and flip. I want to be HGTV. That's what I want to do. And that's the $55,000. The person that we paid, the company that we paid $55,000 to. That's what we thought we were going to learn. We didn't.
I know what company it is now.
He's like, I paid that same 55.
He said,
you know what? Apparently it worked. I brought y'all here.
And then we found this other mentor. We paid $15,000 to, and he was like, "No, you guys don't want to fix and flip. You want to wholesale." That's why, again, it's key to know to get clarity on what it is that you want, because he provided that clarity for us. Right now, when we're running our business, we're trying not to fix and flip. I want to wholesale everything. But at the beginning, he was the one that got us in wholesaling. So we got the wholesaling, and then we was gonna sell this deal.
Wholesale this deal.
We wanted to make $25,000. Don't ask me where the number came from. we want to make 25,000.
That's the number.
We put it out
No. I know why we need to make 25,000.
What bill do you have?
We wanted 5,000 of it to go to going out.
Oh,
So
okay,
that
now
was
20,000 towards the credit card bill, 5,000 20 towards the credit card bill, 5,000 going out. Then we're gonna pay everything off.
This was like we was a year and a half into this. We made. I mean, at the time, I think we probably cleared with like 60, 70,000 that year. But at that point, bro, I was balling. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
but, no. So, but serious. Just a side note, we all have a point. We all have our own critical mass, and for my level is, you know what I'm saying. So at that point, that was my critical mass, and that's all. I just need to make $60,000. If I make $60,000, I am good. I'm balling. I'm doing well. I don't got to go punch into nobody's clock to get this money, you know. And that was my critical mass. But obviously, I've been exposed, and it's like 60,000. That's, you know. And now I'm like, that's not
the book in our mastermind, Die with Zero.
Yeah.
Perfect analogy for where, you know. And I was similar place that you got.
Yeah.
Like, perfect analogy. It's like
You
your money utility when we're 24 years old is way different when we're 34, 44, 54, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to be 84 getting out of your Lambo with a cane. It's your first Lambo. Like, you know what I mean? You want to enjoy that shit when you're younger.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make 25,000, and the buyer who offered on the deal, we I think was gonna make like 21 or 22,000. We was like, no, we want to make 25. So we called our mentors, like, man, listen, man, we really want to make 25,000 on this deal. We think we're giving him an amazing deal. And my mentor said, well, why don't you guys rehab it yourself?
I love that you're dead set on the 25.
Like we was
no wiggle room.
No, bro.
But it's funny because that's not usually our negotiation style either. Our negotiation style, like sometimes we give to a little bit too much in negotiations. So we called our mentors, like, hey man, we really want to make 25,000. He's like, man, flip the deal. We gave him every excuse in the book. He gave us every rebuttal to essentially force us to start fixing and flipping. So we did our first fix and flip. That went well. Then we started doing more fix and flips. And then we had this deal where we could have wholesaled it and made like probably 80,000 on it. So he's like, man, you know what? It's time to start keeping rentals. No, we could have made 80,000. It was a little bit less than that. You might think probably like 40, probably half of that.
Oh, that was the 1040.
Yeah, 1040. So we could have made like $40,000 spread, something like that. I don't remember the numbers, but we said, you know what? We might as well just go ahead and keep this. You know, got so much equity in it. Yeah. And then we called in.
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, we called our lenders. Hey, listen, would you help us buy this property? Clueless. Would you help us buy this property? You know, it's worth this. We can pick it up for this. Would you help us? Oh yeah, I'll do that deal all day. You guys just got to do the renovation, and I'll buy the property for you. She brought the property for us. We got it. We put $13,000 into it. That was our first rental, which we still have to this day.
That's dope.
So she put up the money.
Yeah.
You put up the work, and you got the deal.
Yeah.
I mean, she made interest on her money. It was a traditional hard money loan, but
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So there's 4 things you can do to a deal. You can buy it, right? You can manage it or fix it. You can sell it, or you can provide the funds.
Yeah.
And then you guys just had to figure out how to manage the deal, and then boom, it's yours. I think that's awesome.
It's really something that we've, like, in some of our masterminds, we've had to have people get the mentality switch when they're like full-time wholesalers. It's like, look, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Staying in the property, but just like, what do you say? Put it on your balance sheet.
If you don't need it in your bank account, put it on your balance sheet.
I like that.
I love it.
I like that.
But even so, like, and again, everyone is different because for us, man, I didn't rentals $400 a month, $300 a month, man. I can't do nothing with that. So at that point in my life, I wanted to make money. I needed to see the big checks coming in. So that's why we were at the beginning. We were just so locked in on wholesaling. Again, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that the importance of building, the real way to build wealth, or one way to build wealth, which is, owning the property, letting it appreciate, helping you with your tax. I didn't understand that, bro. I just wanted those big checks.
Yeah. You just wanted the money.
I just wanted the money. Yo, I'm a kid from the hood, bro. I'm a kid from the hood.
This is what I see.
I grew up with nothing, and you mean to tell me
Kids, you got another half there. Don't worry.
But it's like, not having money is a problem. But then once you make money, that's also a problem. And then you have to figure out how to keep it, how to multiply it, how to grow it, right? And not how to spend $5,000 at Live in Miami and then blow it so that way you need to make another $25,000 check.
Lottery winners, 80% go bankrupt within 4 years or 3 years, they say. A lot of people that don't know what to do with it, just lose it. A lot of people say that you can give 2 people $1 million, give one $1 million, and they'll just lose it. The other one will actually make something with it.
Man, I would not change anything about my journey. Because again, like you said, sometimes you get that money too fast, you don't know what to do with it.
And like, if you don't have no education, you just gonna go blow it. You gonna
I got $1 million. Let's go.
Blow it.
We blew a lot of money at the beginning. We blew a lot of money.
Man.
We all have, I think, kind of. I know I used to.
I mean, you from Miami, so I mean,
you already know
that lifestyle is different, man. Like,
Miami's a whole different lifestyle. You're used to seeing all the glam and the Lambos
weekend
driving.
You don't spend, $6,000-7,000.
Oh yeah, easily. One night out, man.
Yeah.
Shoot, for to live. Shoot, that's like $10K is for the cheapest, worst table you go to. I mean,
yeah. So for us, man, we had, and I thank God for that. That we had to go through that, because now we're at a point where I know how to make wiser decisions. I don't regret anything I did. We had a great time. Great time.
So so you guys talked about one of your mentors being your mother. And we're in the same mastermind together. And I know that mentorship has been extremely powerful, at least for me and you guys too, and a bunch of other people. Could you talk about the power of mentorships? Because at some point, that $55,000 that you spent more money on mentorships afterwards.
Yeah.
So could you guys speak about like how that mentorship piece has really helped you guys continue to scale?
First, let me say, when you find a mentor, and I think everybody needs not one mentor, but multiple mentors for different areas of your life, make sure that they are where you want to be and they can give you sound advice. I want to put that out there, because a lot of people talk about mentorship, but they don't talk about the extra component of making sure that you're getting the right advice.
You
got to really, really think about that. But for us, mentorship has been huge to our success. At one point, we grew up, the way we grew up was, you can figure everything out. And that's for the longest.
That was detriment.
That's for the longest how we thought, I don't need a mentor. I don't need this. I don't need that. Because we didn't tell you this. We hired those first 2 mentors, then we didn't have a mentor for a couple years. We still had that one, but all they was teaching us was how to stay small. So for the first 3-4 years of real estate, wholesale, do deals by yourself. They didn't teach us build out a team. They didn't even push us to build out a team. It was just, you guys are making money. Everything is cool. So just make sure that you have the right mentor that is setting you down to the path of where you really want to be in life. But you have to kind of know that. But that right mentor can help give that direction to you. They should be able to give that direction.
But to answer your question about like how mentorship is, I think, man, probably the top 1 or 2 things that we've done to help us get to where we are in life. I'm not even talking about monetarily. I'm talking about as a father, as a servant leader, serving in my church. You know what I'm saying? Like a community leader, just being around the right mentors, seeing guys who I admire do those things. So it helps you not just make more money, but it also just
helps. The biggest thing helps you collapse time. Think about it.
Yeah,
jump levels quick.
It helps you collapse time. If the right mentor will help you collapse time so fast.
The speed.
Like one of the biggest things that I'm thankful for about our mentor is the fathership component, and just helping me understand that, growing up the way that we grew up, I gotta be the first one to leave, the first one in, the last one to leave. If you got kids, like at what point are you going to spend time with your kids? So being in that mastermind, it's just, for me personally, was becoming a much better dad, because my first child, if we didn't have DM, I probably would still be going crazy like every day. Like I miss my daughter. I missed her whole first year.
You both have kids?
Yes.
Are they really good friends, your kids?
Oh, amazing.
Besties.
Literally besties.
Every
besties.
night, I gotta go to Uncle Jeremy's house. Bro,
it's amazing. They tell the difference between you two, though, right?
Yeah, they could. Yeah. It's amazing to see, though, like to see our kids interact together, and just to see their personalities. It's nothing short of amazing. Like that's really what I live for, just to be a dad.
Yeah.
Well, even speaking of that, mentorship, so you guys are mentors yourself now, right? Like offering mentorship to different people in the business and all that.
Yeah, we're about to start. The
Okay.
name, what we're calling it is expose and expand. Because exposure leads to expansion, at least it should. You want to go into it?
What do you mean by that? Yeah.
Yeah. So for us, I think anything great that really happens in our life comes from exposure. When you accomplish something great, you put the work into it, but again, you've been exposed to that level of greatness, so now you know what to go up to. So we're all at a certain point, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I'm somebody's LeBron. I'm somebody's Michael Jordan. And I humbly say, not even just kids. And I humbly say that. You really think about it. Terry he probably don't even know this. He was my LeBron. Because I'm like, this guy's on 400 units. He has all this cash flow. But think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Finally got called something good.
Someone tall.
Finally.
Someone tall. You missed the whole point. No, so with Expose and Expand, man, we just want to be able to expose people to what's out there. We want to expose them to, hey guys, it's much bigger than what it is that you have in your mind. So we want to expose that to them, give them the resources and the tools that they need so that they can expand, not just in the business, but personally as well.
I think it's catchy as hell, though, by the way. I think it's very catchy.
I like that a lot.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I mean,
You came up with the name, didn't you?
I didn't want to say it, but
but I really think it was like that. This is meant to be simply because anything that, like, a lot of our company's names, either I come up with the name, he comes up, he hates it, I don't like it. Like, we just can't agree with it. But he called me one night and he was like, bro, I got the name of what we're going to call this. I'm like, what? It's like Expose and Expand. And I was like, bro,
that's fire.
I love it. And I said, that's the name, and that's the name. And that's what we're going to go with. So for us, man, we have a whole idea on what we want to grow and how what we will grow. What we will do with it. So now to just start with real estate education. But for us, man, it's just so much bigger, man. And like another component that we want to do with it is start a nonprofit where we have a traveling job fair. Because you really think about it, in the neighborhoods we grew up in, all they see is all they see is people that's firefighters, policemen. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But we wasn't exposed to business owners. We wasn't exposed to hedge fund managers. We wasn't exposed to money managers. So if I can get that into a kid that's in the inner city from where I'm from, if I can just plant that seed, let me just plant the seed, and then he gets curious. And curious mind leads to, great things. So for us, I want to be able to plant that seed in these kids and show like, hey, there's other things. You can be bigger than, we're a neighborhood. You could just be bigger than your neighbor. From where you're from. So
it's amazing, man.
You guys said with mentors, like there's a right mentor for everyone. That's like you said, not all mentors are right for each person. What's like your target people that you're trying to, like, who would be the perfect person to come to you and be like, hey, you guys are going to be able to help me? Like, what kind of people, where should they be? Like already established or growing, or what kind of clientele are you guys, or target demographic are you looking for?
Great point, man. For us, I know we're targeting people that's looking to get to the next level of where they are in their life. So for us, I can only teach what I know. I can only teach based off my experience. So if you're looking to be, make your first million, I can help you do that because I've done that. So for us, we're looking for that person that's ready to, like I said, take their life to the next level. Whatever that looks like. So
cool. So we both got two questions for you.
I was just gonna say, because I know you guys are going hard now on social media, and so like, is that kind of one of your next steps or goals? Like, you guys are looking to,
you guys
take
have
that as a
hard.
complete arm of your business, or why are you guys choosing that now to go super hard on that?
For us, we've been doing social media now for 2.5 years.
2 years. So I don't mean like just now.
No. It's part of my point. We've been doing social media for 2.5 years. And people think, oh, you guys just came out of nowhere. We've been doing this for a video a day, Monday through Friday.
Video a day.
2.5 years. We stopped for like a month and a half because we had an issue with our with the old person we was working with. But other than that, 2.5 years, video a day, Monday through Friday. And for us, one of the things that we realize is we're impacting lives, which is our life mission. Create 1,000 millionaires to impact lives and be the change that we saw growing up. Because growing up, like I think about the people that I looked up to that I needed.
Yeah, we idolized growing up.
That I idolized growing up, and it wasn't the best people. So for us, I'm sorry, I lost my point. Help me catch my point.
Nah, for
telepathy.
Being able to reach those people.
Being able to reach those people. So as far as with social media, we just started just to show people that, you can do this.
You can do it.
Look at us.
Look at us.
We don't speak perfect English. He don't look that good. Wait. For us, it really was just showing people. And then now people are asking us, like, gosh, at what point do you guys, like, literally for the last year and a half, when are you guys going to start offering stuff? When can we get more from you guys, just as opposed to these videos? So it really came from giving a ton of value, which we all know. If you really want to have a great business, give tons of value. So for us, we gave a ton of value for 2.5 years, and now people just been asking for more, and it's not something that we wanted to do at one point, but now it's like, you know what? People are asking for it. It's unfair. It's unfair to the world if we don't give out more than what we're doing. Because again, part of this is essentially the first part is teaching you real estate, how to help you make 6 figures in real estate plus, but eventually it's going to evolve and grow. How to be a dad. how to be a parent. You think about how much mentorship people really get on parenting. You really think about it.
No.
Most people don't get mentorship on that. That's something that I know that we can provide because he's been doing a great job for the last 7 years. Like, great job. And I think I've been doing a pretty decent job for 4 years. I know a little bit here and there. So for us, we want to offer that as well. We want to offer opportunities within our community and the people that buy into it.
So one thing, and just from the way that I don't feel like you guys give yourselves enough credit for where you guys are at and where you guys have came from. And the one thing I know about social media, I don't speak perfect English either.
Yeah.
Like, just nothing's perfect. But I think that the beauty of it is when it's not perfect, people relate. People are like, man,
more,
they can be if Summers can do it, shit, I can do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who cares, right?
Really, if Summers can do it, I really can.
That's why you're doing it.
That's who comes out.
It goes back to the point that I made earlier, bro. We are LeBron James to somebody. Whether you're LeBron James to somebody, you're LeBron James to somebody. We're all LeBron James to somebody, And for us, I heard this quote 2 weeks ago. I heard this quote, and I told him, like, this is what we're going to stand by, and it's we rise by lifting others up. The way I grow is by lifting other people up. So and that's another part of Expose and Expand, where I want to help other people rise, and it's going to only continue to help me to elevate and continue to. But I think one of our greatest gifts is we genuinely love to see people win.
That's it.
Like
bro.
I love it, and I think everything is a win. So I'm inspired. I'm blessed that I get to be inspired all day long. Because being here with you guys, like, I'm inspired just being here and just seeing what you guys have built in a very short time. Like, this build out is nice. Like, really, really nice.
Appreciate it.
I know they did all the work, but
I had the vision.
Wait, he did all the work. You did all the work.
So as we kind of wrap up here, the name of this show is Scalers Only. We have a community of, not just real estate investors, but investors in general, business people, business owners, where they are trying to scale in their real estate, their business, and their lifestyle. So if you could say, what are the top 5 things that have helped you scale? Like rapid fire, like
removing my ego.
Removing ego.
Consistency.
Okay. Consistency.
Mentorship. Hard work. And I think the most important, another thing that's important is being around the right people. Who you around, you are who you hang around.
Like the top 5 people that you hang around, right?
Just surrounding yourself with those people that are going.
So those rapid fire, I think that'll be it, those 5 things.
Awesome. Well, we speaking of rapid fire. Dun dun dun. We need to have like a drum roll when this comes up.
Where's our sound box? We need those like. No, so can we play some sounds?
My contact's bad, so you're gonna have to pull that up a little more.
Why is pull that up?
Eyes here.
What book stands out to you?
Your eyes pulling too?
If you have maybe fast, which one stands out?
For me, one of my favorite high performance habits. That's one of my favorites.
Which one stands out to you?
I love it. Traction and profit first.
Yeah.
Profit first. I love high performance habits.
All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We're gonna see. You guys can go at the same time. Whatever. Are you ready? Pineapple on pizza or no pineapple?
Pineapple on pizza.
Oh crap!
All day long.
Is that a Southern thing?
Pineapple on pizza. I don't know, bro. Pineapple and pepperonis on pizza. Oh, amazing. And a little barbecue sauce.
I like that too.
Amazing.
So someone asked me for a business plan, our Scalers Only group, and to take one of our weekly calls and go through a business plan. So business plan or go with the flow.
We typically are go with the flow, but we need to get better at business plans. But we go with the flow.
Gotcha.
Because and you know what? I mean, it's not go with the flow. It's taking action. I think action overcomes everything. If you just take action, you'll figure it out. So obviously you got to know where you're going, but we're just believing, just taking action. Yeah.
Country or metal?
Oh, country.
Yeah.
Some country.
Really?
Country.
Yeah.
Country. Look, I went to Tennessee. I was in them bars.
Line dancing.
This is like a country Miami. I like it. Homebody or social butterfly?
Homebody. Mixture of both.
Mixture of both.
I'm at heart, I'm a homebody, but I like to be out and talking to people, getting to know people, because one thing that we didn't do, remember, for like from high school all the way up until like we started in the real estate, work. Yeah. So now that's made me a little bit of a lot more social butterfly being out there. So
rich or famous?
Rich.
Rich.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, $100 million in the bank. I'm also you won't see me. Don't call me. Don't text me.
I have always said, like, you know,
Don't call me.
There's a certain part where, like, you have to do it to, you know, get the notoriety, because if no one knows who you are, you're not going to make the money. But it's like, man, there's sometimes I just want to disappear too.
Listen, man, and today and age it's easier to get to where you're trying to go. But like we have mentors. These guys have, stupid money, and you don't know who they are. You know, so for everybody it's different. We just understand now, like when eyeballs is currency. You know, so when the attention economy, you got to take advantage of it. I think if you're an entrepreneur, it's a great avenue for you to do whatever it is that you want to do. I heard something which I remind me to send this to all you guys. A guy was talking about how all these huge brands are going to be going in the next 20 to 30 years, because if you don't have a media component, like a concentration side to your business, you won't be in business.
You'll get past them.
Yes. You think about Mr. Beast Burgers. You think about some of these
That's
things.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so you think about it.
Give you a prime. Look at Prime with Logan Paul. Like how did he catch up to Gatorade and to
Body Armor and all these companies?
It's just the brand. It's just having that brand. Yeah.
Fulfill your biggest wish, or go back and redo your biggest regret.
Fulfill my biggest wish.
I have no regrets in my life. I have no regrets.
No regrets, dog.
Nah,
Not even one.
Not even that one time at KOD.
Hey, well, let's talk on camera about that.
Nah, but you know, I think, man, it's
other way.
We're young, bro. I'm 31. Like I have so much more living. I have so much more living to do.
You got time to make mistakes even more if you want.
Yeah. You think about it, like you said, we 31. I don't want to lose it all, but if I can, like I can, grow it back in much faster.
But you also think about it though. Like one thing my mentor taught me when they said, well, how do you define all? Nobody ever talks about it. If I lose it all, well, what is all? For me, I've defined my all.
Yeah.
My wife, my 2 kids, and then my family. That's all. So what am I really losing? So.
Cool. Well, fellas, we appreciate you guys being on Scalers Only Show.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I appreciate you guys opening up and
Elbow trucks. That's one of those commercials.
You gotta move back to Miami. You gotta move back to Miami, man. Wait. Because just last thing.
Be careful what you wish for.
You know us really well. Who would you say is exposed? Who would you say is expand? If you
expose or expand?
Yeah, like out of us two.
You're exposed, you're expand.
Other way around. Expand, expose.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys are thinking about that, huh?
They're not even answer. Like, hell, we'll leave you to that. Join our mentorship.
So,
I'll tell you.
Like he said. Thank you guys for having us, man.
So to all the listeners, how does everyone find you?
The best way is just on social media, across all platforms. Mathis Twins, MATHIS TWINS. Again, MATHIS TWINS.
Love it.
Impressive.
Cool.
Man.
Anything else to add before we go?
No, I'm like seriously, I'm impressed. Like this, when I walked in, it's like, oh wow, this is amazing. Like
you just like the red carpet, did you?
that too. But no, this is amazing, guys. This is amazing.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for having us, man. I greatly, I appreciate this from the bottom of my heart. Seriously, man. Like for us to be able to come on and share with your audience, we don't take that lightly, man. So thank you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys.
We're selective till we have on. I'll say that. So appreciate you guys. Anyways. Until next time, thank you for tuning in to the Scalers Only Show, where we talk about real estate, business, lifestyle, and everything in between. Until next week, we'll see you guys.